Welcome to the video. Today, I want to do something a little differently. Rust has many different aspects to it. From running monuments, farming materials, farming resources, building, PvPing, and so much more. As a solo, you have to become good at all these different aspects in order to survive. Normally, my videos revolve around PvPing and controlling monuments. However, this wipe, I wanted to focus more on the building and PvE aspect of this game. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this peaceful Rust adventure I'm bringing you on. Welcome to the video, everybody. I have something crazy planned for today's video. I will be attempting to build a gigantic medieval castle in official vanilla Rust as a solo. I think that this is going to be extremely challenging to do. However, I'm up to the challenge, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done. I spent hours in a build server practicing what base it is that I wanted to build for this wipe. So hopefully, as long as all goes well, I will be able to get it done. Wow, I'm getting blessed with a crazy start right now, though. But yeah, the server I'm on is currently, it's gonna be a 900 pop server. I mean, it is legitimately seconds after wipe at the moment, but this server gets to well over 900, 1,000 pop on wipe day. So it is gonna be a crazy wipe as long as everything goes well. But I need to lock in real quick and get down to build spot as fast as possible so that I could claim where it is that I want to go, because I'm going to need a lot of space for this castle. Nice. Alright, let's keep it moving. Okay, I think that this ice lake is going to be my build spot. Yeah, I like it. With the help of a horse, I managed to get to my build spot in just a couple minutes. Now, having arrived, I needed to farm up some materials so that I would be able to construct the start of the castle. Okay, you're probably wondering why I didn't build on like the center of the ice lake. This castle is gonna be huge, and I'm gonna need all the space I could get. Which means that I need to put this edge kind of far to the side, which is why I did it like this. Okay. I need to get a TC, and I saw a bear over there that I want to get. Okay. Nice. This video is sponsored by Rust Clash. Rust Clash is a platform in the Rust community best known for their case battles. On top of case battles, they have a variety of game modes allowing intense PvP, such as Tiles, Plinko, Mines, Crash, and the classic Upgrader, which is where I like to spend most of my time. A variety suited to fit anyone's needs, taste, or style. If you want to continue supporting me, feel free to use code MOODY for 3 free cases when you sign up. Make sure you're 18 years of age or older before playing, and thank you Rust Clash for sponsoring today's video. With my base now secured, this would normally be the time in my wipe when I would start running monuments. However, this wipe, I will continue farming my area to build up resources to continue fortifying my base. Alright. Everything is going pretty good so far. I forgot to depot the loot. Whatever. I need to get furnace going, and I need to just keep expanding. And then I need to get metal hatchet ASAP so that I could get the most out of these piles as possible. The server's also lagging really badly for some reason. Okay, nice, let's get a tier 1 going. Make sure Fernies stay on.
depot all of that. Nice. Nice.
Feeling happy with how much resources I had gathered in the first 30 minutes of wipe, I decided that I would build the first external of the castle wall, in hopes to deter people from building around me.
Dude. This is why I never play this server.
Currently, the biggest enemy I had to face was the lag. So, to try and avoid it, I finished my external and then headed to the train tunnels.
Alright, you guys just have to trust the process on this one. It's gonna look a little weird, but... Okay. I'm gonna do our last externals and then... Okay, all of our externals are done. Now we just need to get to a decent amount of HP and go start doing train tunnels. Oh my god, I can't hit it. I'm at like 5 FPS right now. What is going on? Oh my god.
After clearing my station, I headed back up to depot and craft myself a crossbow, hopefully making it easier for me to take the scientists without taking so much damage. I made it back to base with a successful train tunnels run, netting myself some much needed components that would assist in the building of my base. Now, though, I needed to get back to farming the resources in my area, as while I had been down there, a majority of them had respawned. So I got to work. With my base in a very secure spot, I headed back down to the spawn beach. As I live very close to Oil Rig, I wanted to go do my Pumpy quest so that I could set on Oil Rig to try and get basic blueprint fragments. So, time to do my Pumpy quest.
Can you, by the way, stop?
Right now you're gonna drop me something. You're gonna drop me something. Give me it right now. You tell me.
No way, bro. After the Pumpy quest not going as planned, I took a little break before coming back to keep building the castle.
Oh my god, I'm getting raided right now. I was coming up train tons and I just saw 3 kids run towards my base with launcher.
You are so gay. This is so stupid.
We are so gay.
You suck, by the way.
We suck, by the way.
Good at the game. You suck, by the way.
We are sucking on it, by the way.
You have no power.
Do they need power?
How do you know our names? Good talk.
Unfortunate. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
You're a fucking.
Dude, you have cancer.
We have cancer.
This is the most cancer shit I've ever seen.
Hello? Shalom.
Okay, well, he's closed in now. Alright, I think I have a good play on this guy. No way, bro. Okay, that's not great. I'll be honest, that is not great.
After realizing that I didn't have much chance killing these guys, I waited them out. I'd managed to trap one of them in my base, while the other ones were stuck outside of my base. With how early it was into wipe, I knew that they had no more boom. If they did, they would have continued raiding. And since they didn't, I figured eventually they would leave. And they did, and I got the kit of the guy who was stuck in my base, as he eventually just F1 killed from being stuck inside. After this raid, I realized just how weak my base was. If I wasn't careful, a group that was a lot deeper than these guys would be able to come over and fully raid me. So I took this guy's kit and I headed out and I grinded out all of the materials in my area to ensure that I would not get raided. I had made a vending machine selling my sulfur and gunpowder for basic blueprint fragments, and after a while it eventually sold out, allowing me to finally craft up a level 2 workbench.
Alright, we are going to start working on the first part of the castle wall. And we're going to be extending all these out. out of stone. I'll do as much upgrading as as I have stone. We'll see where we get, and we'll see how much more we need. This box is what? It's 2, 4, 6, 8. 6 times 8 is 48. So that's 48,000 stone. So I'm gonna need 5 more boxes of it, roughly. Yeah, 5 more boxes of stone. With a Jackie, that's not terrible. But I don't have a Jackie, so it's kind of not great. Alright, that is the first part of the castle underway. You guys could start to see the vision of what's going to happen here. These are going to be all of the pillars and the towers for the corners of the castle. But after a complete box of stone, that is all we were able to do, so need to continue farming. I want to go get a jackhammer, so I think I'm going to run the train stations all the way to the spawn beach and try and make my way to a water well vendor that I could buy jackies from. As I said, I took a train all the way down to the spawn beach, clearing every station along the way to stack up as many components as possible. Once on the beach, I would go to each of the water well vendors in hopes of buying a jackhammer. Once I found one that had a jackhammer, I would then make my way over to Outpost, in which I would buy a minicopter to fly all the way back to base, as I lived on the complete opposite side of the spawn beach. By this point, I had made it down, and I stopped at the lighthouse right on the spawn beach in order to recycle all my components so that I would have more scrap to be able to use to buy jackhammers. I'm going to take this boat all the way to where I'm trying to go. Should be a lot safer than running, especially since I have no ammo left. 10 bullets isn't going to do me too well. Hell no. So much for it being safer. no Jackie though. Alright, well, there's a Revo kit in here, we know for sure. Oh shit. Still no jackhammer though. I have one more. One more that I could try. That's really unfortunate. Given how loaded I was, I figured I would just head over to Outpost to buy a mini and fly home. Although with no jackhammer, I would be far from empty-handed with how much loot I managed to acquire along the way. So, Outpost is where I'm headed. No way, bro. Oh my god, dude. For those of you that play Rust, you know just how bad the revolver is. Out of every gun in the game, the revolver has the largest aim cone. So to triple headshot somebody with a revolver, bullet after bullet after bullet, from that distance seemed highly unlikely, which led me to check out his account, realizing that he was fully cheating. So I reported him, and less than an hour later, I got this. So, as I suspected, he was indeed cheating and got banned. But by then, my loot was far gone, with no chance of getting it back. So, we just had to push on. To make up for this loss, I did another train tunnels run, this time going up at Outpost. I then recycled everything I got at Outpost, eventually leading to having enough scrap to buy a mini. I then used this mini to fly to a lighthouse near Outpost to recycle some of my components from base, which I would then use the scrap that I got from it to buy a jackhammer from Outpost. With my new jackhammer, I would farm a bunch of resources so that I could do the last expansion of the night on the castle. Alright, we are going to do the next expansion of the castle gate. Or the castle wall, I should say. I have finally accumulated another box of stone, so time to go put it to good use. Alright, and just like that, the towers are now complete. Obviously, I need to still seal in with the walls of the castle wall itself, but at least for now, we have the pillars. Alright guys, this is where I'm going to call it for day one. Pretty good progression on the castle. I got all the oh my god, I got all the towers up, and I got the outline of the rest of the castle wall, and the main part of the castle is going up as well. So yeah, pretty good progression for day one, and I'll catch you guys as long as we are not offline tomorrow. We are unrated. Nice, 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 nice. After logging on to day 2 and seeing that I was unrated, I went AFK. In that time, an unknown group came over and raided one of my loot rooms. I strongly considered just giving up this project, but a group of friends of mine that were on the same server were quitting their wipe, and they wanted to see the castle get built. So to help out, they gave me some of their loot to assist in me restarting.
Alright, boss. Good wipe.
Thank you guys, bro. Goat's right here. With the diesel I had accumulated from running rigs, I headed over to the stone quarry. With 20 diesel, I would be able to get around 100,000 stone, which would not be enough to finish my base, but it would get me pretty close. And while I was running it, I was able to farm the surrounding area to assist in my node progression. After almost an hour of running the stone quarry, I'd accumulated almost 4 boxes of stone, which should be enough to finish the castle wall at least. So I got on it. Alright, I've stacked up around 4 boxes of stone and a little over a box of wood, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish. I believe this should be enough to finish off the wall. So let's get to it. Alright guys, that is the wall around the castle completed. Now I need to start working on the castle part itself along with the next few towers. But so far I think it's coming together pretty well. Okay. We've just completed another part of the castle. And it's these 2 side towers. It's looking a whole lot better. Alright guys, the outside of the castle and everything in its entirety is pretty much completed. This is the final form the castle will take, and I think it turned out amazing. It turned out even better than I was imagining it. Everything went exactly how I was hoping. It came together really well. And yeah, I actually managed to get it fully built and completed a lot quicker than I was expecting. And I think it looks really, really awesome. I think it's super intimidating and super cool. Definitely one of the bigger projects I've ever taken on in Rust. But I think it was well worth it for this outcome. I love the way the base looks. I love the way it came together. And all around, I'm just super happy with it. With the sulfurides stacked up while farming for my base, I crafted up some rockets. There was a duo that had built next to me and was farming the area that I was trying to farm. So I went over to send them a raid. Yeah, the mini's cooked. I'll try not break it still, but... I don't think that mini's coming out. Fuck, he made it in. What the fuck? Interesting. Okay, they looted. Where's their comps at? Oh. No gears. I want to seal it better. I offline them too.
Smart alarm.
W smart alarm for real. Oh, GG.
After I'd fully raided these guys, they sat outside begging me to ungrief their base and let them rebuild. So after I transferred all of their loot to my base, I left them a decent amount of loot to restart and ungrief their base so that they could rebuild. Unfortunately, I was busy for a majority of the rest of the day. So, after about 8 hours, I logged back on and saw that that same group was grinding their rebuild. When I had raided them before, they had complained that when I raided them, they weren't at base. So I went over to try and send them a proper online.
One's outside. I hear him stepping. Ooh, that was almost really bad. This is gonna be hard. I didn't bring a bag. Ooh. And I am dead. You see this guy? Cause I don't. By this point, it was becoming quite evident to me that this group didn't want an online. Not only was it a 1v3 and I sent it online while they were at base, but once they saw me raiding, they instantly started HVing and rocketing me. I decided to keep pushing to see if I could try and gain control, at least enough control to start sending some rockets. I wasn't here for loot or winning, but for fun and trying to send an online to these guys. But if they kept pushing and not letting me get a raid base up, there was nothing I could do and no reason for me to bring my rockets over. These guys are really being annoying. Is that a Benelli? It is a Benelli. They're trying to bag somebody in right now. I tried for over an hour to gain control, but no matter how many times I killed them, they just kept respawning. They even bagged in 2 guys from chat to try and help them defend the raid. So what was originally a 1v3 online turned into a 1v5 online. It was very clear these guys didn't want to get raided. Online, offline, it didn't matter. They wanted to keep their loot, and I respect it. Well, to a point. So I just packed my bags and left. There was no point in staying here fighting them when they didn't want the online that I was trying to give them. They obviously clearly don't desire any sort of online raid, and I'm gonna make sure they don't get one. After retreating from this raid, I still had 2 lines of rockets that needed to get used, so I decided to just roam them and hopefully find an online base to raid. But that's easier said than done. I lost my kit here, but I saved all the rockets. So I decided to just roam the rockets naked and try and raid somebody online still. Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Knock, knock. Wake up, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Lock in, you're getting raided! Give me a kit, please. What the fuck? Alright guys. The castle is complete, and so is my wife. All of my goals have been accomplished, and I feel fully content with how this wipe played out. Unless we are to get a magical raid defense, this is where our wipe is going to end. I would like to thank you all for making it to the end of the video and sticking around with me through this journey. And I will catch all of you in the next one.